Welcome to the third module, The Key to True Love. So what have you been learning over the past couple of weeks? What changes have you been making in your life? Does any of the material you are learning feel like it's stretching you? If you feel stretched or anxious about something you want to do in your dating life, the best thing that you can do is take action towards it. Because action leads to progress, and progress leads to success. And we all want to feel successful, especially when it comes to love. The Love Tools system is all about you learning, growing, and creating success in your dating life. Remember to jump on the Facebook Love Tools group and share your successes and some of the challenges you've been having. Because let's face it, dating can be a little challenging at times. Also, you're not on this journey alone. I'm going to be checking the Facebook group regularly, and other people will comment or maybe have similar experiences as you. Now, the topic of this module, the key to true love. It is what all humans desire, but it's not captured, it's cultivated. If you want to develop real, deep, lasting love in your life, you have to learn to water or feed love, not poison it. In this 15-minute module, I'm going to show you the biology and science behind love and how to use it to your advantage. The poisons to true love and how you could be poisoning your dating life and the antidote. Finally, the key to true love and how to apply it to your dating instantaneously. There was a time in my dating life where I felt lost and I didn't know how to create love. I knew I had a lot to offer a relationship, but I felt empty, confused, and untrusting of the opposite sex. I remember a moment when I was 26 years old. I wanted the world to see just how well I was put together. I had a great job, I worked hard, I was living overseas, I was learning 2 additional languages, and on the weekend I was an adventure junkie. And I had this really exotic, attractive boyfriend. And at the end of a long day at work, I would go home, close the door, and the reality was that I knew the world saw through my facade. People could easily see through and see what was really going on in my life. I felt lonely, I felt empty, and I felt like the relationship with my exotic, attractive boyfriend was fake. I was not cultivating true love for myself. I was receiving what I was projecting to the world: fakeness, distrust, and emptiness. I started to make some serious changes, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did and what you need to do to cultivate true love in your life. However, don't take my word for it. I really want you to practice what you're learning. So let's start with step number 1, cultivating true love. Really understanding the biology and the science behind love. Love is a science, and that science is experience leads to emotions. Emotions lead to hormone releases. Hormones release to behaviors. Let's take a closer look at the brain on dating. There are a few important parts of the brain to understand in dating. The brain can be your best friend or your worst enemy. Our brain associates experiences as either painful or pleasurable. It processes experiences through the limbic system, or our subconscious. And how we process the experience will lead to an emotional response. And the emotional response will secrete certain hormones. The love hormones, such as oxytocin, vasopressin, epinephrine, cortisol, dopamine, and serotonin, which can lead to our behaviors. These are all positive love hormones. So our pleasurable experiences releases those love hormones that are triggered by our experiences through the limbic system. And when we release those hormones, we start to cultivate love or feel and experience love. And when someone says they've been with a person for a really long time, but all of a sudden they're not in love anymore, that means they don't know how to use those hormones to their advantage. Let's look at this a little closer through a story. Imagine Joe and Sandy. They found each other on a dating app and are planning to meet for the very first time. Joe associates women and dating as something painful because of his past baggage. So the day of his date, his subconscious or his limbic system is telling him, dude, she's not gonna like you and probably is a little bit bitchy. Don't put any effort into it. Meanwhile, Sandy associates dating as something warm and amazing. Her past baggage is different. The day of the date, her brain is telling her, I am excited to meet Joe. I know we're gonna have a great time. I'm gonna keep my heart open and see what can be possible. Joe decides to stay late at work after his boss has reprimanded him for a project. So he shows up 15 minutes late for the date with Sandy. She's already been waiting for 15 minutes, but happily greets him because she's happy he has arrived. She asks him about his day. Joe rolls his eyes and says, ugh, don't even ask me about it, and picks up and looks at his phone. Sandy keeps trying to engage him and asks about things he likes and compliments him on his outfit. Joe is simply thinking about his day at work and how bitchy his ex-girlfriend used to be. So he misses Sandy's warm smile and gentle demeanor. His cortisol levels are soaring because of his stressful day and his past baggage. Meanwhile, Sandy's dopamine and epinephrine is dropping because Joe is not responding to her warm, gentle demeanor. She quickly realizes Joe is not interested in her. All the while, Joe has put up invisible walls, like many of us do, because he believes all women are the same. They both leave the date disheartened. The difference is that Sandy says to herself, oh well, better luck next time. All the while, Joe says to himself, women just don't like me. And you know what? I think they're kind of bitches anyways. It's so important as daters to understand our past experiences or our baggage to understand our love association, because they lead to our emotions, which lead to our hormonal responses, which lead to our behaviors. Now, we are going to move into an exercise. So I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper and pause the video. Because in this exercise, you are going to write down some of your positive and negative experiences that you have had in dating. Really let your pen just flow and express some of your past experiences here, because your past will lead to the future unless you decide to change it. What are the experiences that you've had with the opposite sex? Really dive deep here and let that pen flow. I'll catch you back in a couple of moments. So what did you uncover in that exercise? Thinking about past pleasurable and negative experiences and writing them down really activates the limbic system and can help uncover some beliefs and behaviors that are holding you back in dating. So I really hope that you took some time, and you can do it again after this video. Now on to step 2. Let's examine the poisons of love and their antidote. This information that I'm going to share with you is pulled directly from the Dr. Gottman Institute, where he talks about the 4 horsemen or the 4 poisons of love and dating. So if you want to quickly poison any dating or love experience, just use one of these 4 poisons. First poison to love and dating is to criticize other. Criticizing your date for who they are, how they look, how they act, or things that are important to them will quickly poison any dating experience. 2, act contemptuous to your date or the person that you love or want to cultivate love with by being belligerent with them, eye-rolling, mocking them, or being sarcastically funny with them. Acting contemptuous will spoil love instantaneously. The third poison, be defensive. Excuse yourself from responsibility, point the finger at something or someone else, defend why you were late, why you said something, or a belief you have. Being defensive is a sure way to poison any dating experience. And 4, stonewalling or being passive aggressive. We all have experienced this, or maybe some of us have even acted this way, by picking up your phone during the date. Not responding in a timely manner or shutting down is the plain Jane way to stonewall or be passive aggressive. These 4 behaviors will strangle any chance of love in your life. There is no shame into owning our behaviors and our mistakes. It is admirable to understand our limiting beliefs or the poisons that we may use in our love and dating life. Once we understand them and acknowledge them and own the responsibility that we may have some of these behaviors is when we can start to change and replace them. So, how do we cut through these limiting behaviors or these poisons and cultivate true love? Honestly, I'm going to tell you, it is a bit of a challenge to change our behaviors and our beliefs, but with diligence and support, it is absolutely possible, and small, consistent steps render the best results. So, what is the antidote to true love? It is truth. Da 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 da. Truth. Expressing it is the key to true love. And until you learn to speak truth from your heart, you will not allow others to be close to you. Because what true love does is it breaks down our invisible walls of defense. And others can truly see you when you speak truth from your heart. The deep, wholehearted truth creates healthy and navigable love maps. I hear people say all the time, well, I'm good at speaking the truth. That does not necessarily mean that you are speaking the truth from your heart. Let's go back to Joe and Sandy to get a couple of examples. Sandy says, I love oysters. I see them here on the menu. Let's get a dozen and share them as an appetizer. While Joe responds, sure, whatever you want. What Joe really wanted to say from his heart was, sorry, I really don't like oysters, but I want you to enjoy the date. So please get whatever you want, but don't be offended if I don't eat any. Here's another example of not speaking the truth and speaking the truth. I hate when you pick up your phone and we are together. You're such a jerk. Or, really? My feelings are hurt when we are together and your phone is on. I feel unimportant to you. Did you notice the difference? Because the difference is huge. Speaking from your heart opens you up and allows people to see into you. Speak the truth literally means speak into me. And speaking from our heart center releases a powerful hormone from our brain called oxytocin, and it helps people fall in love. Oxytocin is the love hormone. It breaks down invisible walls and cultivates a warm environment. It is our own responsibility to create love through speaking truth. Now, let's create one assignment for yourself from the material we discussed today, and we discussed a lot. We talked about the science and biology behind love, the poisons and antidote to love, and speaking your full truth. Think of one thing that you would like to practice that will stretch you outside of your comfort zone, and make sure you post it on the Facebook group so that I can hold you accountable and support you to cultivate love in your life.